What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. So Kyle,
yes,
there's a big mountain behind us, and Florida doesn't have any mountains. So what's going on with this?
so we built our own.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's a big mountain of dirt.
This is all the topsoil that we pulled off from this area. So what we're doing here is we are just stripping it, making it clean, as you guys can see.
Oh, it's super clean.
Yeah.
You basically built a big marsh.
But what we're doing is we're getting it ready for sheep pile. So it just helps us drive the sheep pile into the ground that much easier. So we're just pretty much cleaning this out. We got to move those trees. This tree, not sure if it's alive or dead. It looks kind of alive, so I was thinking we can try moving it. If it makes it, great. If it doesn't, well, we tried.
And you still got the shed to move over here too?
Yes, we got to move the shed. We got to move that tree. We got that tree, that tree. I think we got 6 trees to move plus the shed.
And what's going in here? So obviously you can see you're doing a lot of work here, but what is the end product?
Lots of enclosures.
Lots of enclosures?
Yeah.
How many? Like
we are going to have 10 in this area. So there's going to be, what are they, 4? No, actually 11 maybe. I think it's going to be 4 60-foot by 52-foot enclosures here. So they'll be for like a couple Americans or those bunch of Cubans.
Because what, you have 3 American crocodiles you want to put together,
Yep.
and 2 females and 1 mystery.
1 mystery.
And then 4 female Cubans you want to put together, right?
Correct. And they're still smaller. They're probably 5 to 6 foot. So they'll be going here, and then we'll still have 2 more empty big enclosures, but obviously we'll probably fill them quick with just moving animals around here. And then we're gonna have 7 the size of Gatorade's enclosures. So we'll show you guys that in a little bit when we feed them. But we have, they're 52 by 35, and they'll have a pond, a sheep pile pond. So again, it'll hold the shape a little better. Kind of like the new ponds, but
which they haven't seen yet.
Yeah, watch it. Just not so crazy. So we'll just drive them in, and then we'll actually have a shallow section that the crocodiles can roll over, and then we can actually walk in and interact with the animals.
So this is all gonna be done in how long do you think? Until we got...
Realistically, probably September, August, September. But completely done, like all super nice and fancy. We're saying by the end of the year, the property. So the entire facility here, we're shooting for the end of the year to have it completely renovated, you know, FWC, spec pathways, all new fencing, trails, I mean, over some enclosures. The greenhouse is gonna get a complete renovation. So there's a lot to be done.
And it's gonna be the sanctuary that people can come to. This is gonna be the actual public facility.
Yep, so this is it. So as you can see, we'll walk over here, and they're punching sheep pile here. So originally I was gonna do 5-foot sheep pile on the ground, and we're just gonna kind of make a natural pond, and then just have it on the sides of the slope. So if they do dig it, they'll hit it, but the problem, guys, is if you start the grade there and run it down smooth, you're not gonna have a deep pond at all with these smaller ponds. So I just said, forget it. Let's just do 10-foot sheep pile all the way down, and we'll just have the pond start right on the sides here, 5 foot deep. So essentially that whole area will be 5 foot deep, 5 to 6 foot deep even. And then we'll kind of slope it back up here, and then we'll have a big 10 foot by 25 foot land section for the crocodiles that we can also get in and interact with them.
And these are the smaller of the enclosures you're building, right?
These are the smallest, yeah. So this is 25 by 25. I think it's technically 25 and a half by 25 and a half by sheep pile, because each sheep pile is 18 inches. Sorry to bore you. But yeah, so then the pond will be, I think, about 2/3 of the enclosure, and then we're gonna have sand around it. So obviously, you know, we don't have to weed whack right around the pond. So let's try to slither through here.
Yeah, because the path has been worn out. Because obviously the method that they're using, it requires a lot of water. So what are they doing to actually drive those sheep piles in?
So 5-foot sheep pile were easy. They were just like whap, pushed them in, no problem. 10-foot sheep pile is a lot harder because, of course, 5-foot sheep pile is fine, 5 foot down. Right at 6 foot, there's apparently a ton of roots. This used to be an old nursery. So apparently, roots in the ground, they hold up pretty well, even though it's been over 5 years since I've had this property.
And so what is he doing right now? So he's got that water hose, so that's water coming in and kind of being jetted down into the,
so that's coming
the
from
sand.
The pump, and they push that all the way down, and what it does is kind of just loosen up the soil down there. And then what they do is they just take the excavator like this and press the sheep pile down. So again, what they do is they stick that jet down there, just softens it up just enough to get the sheep pile down, and then that's how you install sheep pile.
And obviously this is kind of a slower process because they have to do so much. It takes a while to get these enclosures built.
So that's the thing, is like the 5-foot sheep pile, they took, I think they did 3 in a day, and I was like, scrap it. Let's try to do something a little more permanent. So that's obviously, guys, is the biggest thing with sheep pile too, is I'm trying to go as maintenance free as possible. Obviously hurricane rated as far as the walls, but the enclosures, the pond walls, that's for maintenance free, because obviously them not only have a deep pond, but they can't dig every which way and hit this fence or that fence, so it'll just retain that pond, so it's less for us to maintain.
And are you doing a chain link around the enclosures, or you're gonna do sheep pile around the sheep pile?
So again, I'm just, with so many crocodiles, I'm always cognizant of biosecurity. You can only do so much, especially in outdoor enclosures, but again, try as best as you can. So I'm gonna have sheep pile that's driven, I think we're doing 4 foot down and then 6 foot up. So that'll just keep a good splash barrier between the two. And then on the west side and east side, we'll have roughly 2 to 2.5 foot in and up. So then we'll have chain link on top. So for viewing area, it'll just be 2 foot chain, 2 foot sheep pile, and then you can see right through the chain link. So just also give it a breezeway, so it's not gonna get super hot in there. It's not just like a box.
So you can see, guys, how much pressure is coming out of that hose as well.
So they just shoot that down now, we'll see. So again, they just blasted it down, softened it up, and now we're just gonna sink it down. What he's doing there is just making sure everything is level. So, so the sheep pile just goes in perfectly straight. Because obviously if it's a little bit off, you're driving that sheep pile down 10 feet, you could have it sticking this way, that way. So that's what he's doing, just making sure it's good. And then they'll put a cap on top. So we'll do the wood cap that really holds it together. And I'm gonna take wood pile, like the round pile, cut it in half and put it on top. So it'll be half pile. So essentially the crocodiles, when they get out, they can just roll right over it.
So while they're finishing up that, want to show them the enclosures that are almost already done?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you're gonna make some sort of change to these before they get them done.
Yeah, so we are kicking around doing the walls here. So originally, guys, is I was thinking, like I said, 5-foot sheep pile on 3 sides, and then just making a natural pond. They'll kind of hold it a little better, but I was just like, forget it. Let's just do 10-foot sheep pile. We had it. We just cut it in half, so let's just use 10 foot. So the question is are we going to use the east wall as sheep pile and have them do a little bit of a ramp as far as wood pile, or if we just slope the natural pond like we're going to do everywhere else and just have the sheep pile come out a little bit more? So essentially, if they do try to dig around it, they'll have a couple sheep pile to go to dig it. But so it's a give and take of maintenance and also the enrichment and the best for the crocodiles. Because what I think is the best absolute thing for the crocodiles is probably just a natural pond.
So you got the opening here versus the straight wall, like how they built that one.
No, they just didn't close this one.
Well, yeah, but
yeah,
you'd either have an open front or the closed front, correct?
That's a good idea. I could do a hybrid. Look at you thinking, Ryan.
There we go.
Actually,
did we just come up with something?
I'm not going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I can't give him that credit. But I think maybe we'll keep it.
Now we're cooking with dynamite.
But the only thing too is what I do like is we were talking about doing a ramp, and that kind of serves as a cave.
Why don't you do like a ramp right there?
But
so you have the cap over the solid wall, and then you have a ramp.
Just because I agreed with one idea doesn't mean you keep going here.
But what do you think of that?
Terrible.
Terrible?
I'm not going to talk about it.
Watch, guys. When this is done, you'll see exactly those done.
We'll talk about it.
Oh, you're about to trip? Oh. Trip wire.
Ooh. You thought you had me, didn't you? You're like, yes. Trip, trip, trip.
So yeah, this would be what the look would be of a completely enclosed
The only issue with that is now I'm really thinking about that. Sorry, guys. Just how to hold it, because sometimes you need a tie back. See how these are all tied to each other.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you could probably just do one tie back and you're fine. But I think
we're on to something.
I think we're on to something, Ryan.
Sweet. Well, how about we finish this video going and feed Gatorade?
We're done already? Oh, guys, we didn't talk about the equipment. I bought these.
Oh, you walk over there.
So they're always here because we have been renting so much. And believe it or not, guys, it is 3 times as much to rent these machines as it is to just pay for them, just financing. So 0% financing. These are these are here to stay, so we can use these anytime. I mean, my tractor was long, cumbersome. You know, this is super easy to move dirt because I can only do so much with a tractor with how long it was. And this is super long, so I have best of both worlds, whereas the other tractor was just kind of halfway in between. Now this thing can dig a bunch just easily, carry a bunch of stuff, and then that thing we can dig out every single pond here. So even if we do natural ponds, like we'll still have some natural ponds here, especially for the bigger guys, that we can easily dig them out every year to make sure they maintain that depth, and not to mention they have air conditioning. So that is a super fancy thing that I love about them, because especially in this South Florida heat in the summer, it gets super hot super quick.
Cool. Now let's go show the people what they want. Some crocodiles.
What's wrong with this?
Well, they like seeing this, but I'm sure they want to see an alligator.
All right, let's
do
it.
Let's go feed.
Get ready to come. Get ready to come. Get ready to come. He'll jump at us. He's crazy.
That Cuban alligator.
But he's doing good. He still, as you can see, he doesn't really maintain weight well. So you just got to keep feeding him at least twice a week. And we've actually bumped him up to about 8 rats now. Like, especially with this summer heat, he just burned through all this food quick. As you can see, he is chowing down. But tomorrow we're gonna have a massive feeding, so he'll get even more chicken.
It's over there, Gatorade.
Get more chicken.
Oh,
Get chicken. Why do I keep saying more chicken?
Yeah,
so I'm not feeding
he's
chicken.
feeding rats.
Feeding rats.
So we're doing a massive feeding tomorrow with chicken. Is what you're trying to say.
There it is. That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
And he doesn't realize that the rat's sitting right there. So let's see if we can get him with the stick.
Stick, stupid stick. Question is he gonna go for the rat or my white glove? The rat. Well, he makes quick work of 7 rats.
So there, he's got his rats. So
Yep.
tomorrow we'll come back and feed him, and we'll make another video on that.
Yeah, so tomorrow we'll make sure he's nice and full with chicken, which is hormone and antibiotic free. But again, as a filler, just to make sure he maintains that metabolism, we'll keep feeding him twice a week. All right, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed a little update on the sanctuary.
Yeah, and if you liked today's video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Also, we are doing a live stream this Saturday, July 11th at 3 p.m. We're gonna unveil some new news that we got for you guys. So make sure to tune in for that, and we'll see you on the next episode.
See you guys.
All right, guys, you're about to go see the aerial view up there with Kyle. Have fun.